Hey home bakers, it's Jack here, bakewithjack.co.uk, bringing you your weekly bread making tip every single Thursday. And this week I want to show you 11 different things that you can bake bread in. Roll it! Hey you guys, and welcome back to the Bake with Jack YouTube channel, where I share with you a little bit of my bread making expertise, a little nugget of wisdom every single Thursday to help you make amazing bread at home. If you're brand new here and you get some value out of this, consider clicking subscribe at the end of the video. So if you're making bread at home, the chances are you've already tried baking inside of a loaf tin. Boring. But today I want to share with you a few things, because every time I'm out and about at a charity shop or a car boot sale, I'm on the lookout for kitchen stuff, for things that I think bread might look nice being baked inside of. And I'm going to share 11 of them with you today. Let's go. The first one I want to share with you is pie tins. I've been using these loads recently. We use these in class for focaccias. Makes really nice, a nice looking focaccia in there, look wicked on Instagram. Also, we use them for cinnamon buns. Little small batches of 7 or 8 cinnamon buns in here with a nice caramelized base. Thanks to the metal underneath, they work really, really well, and you can get them in tons of sizes. I've got rectangular ones here. Imagine that with a chocolate brioche inside. It really looks wonderful. Or a babka. I used to use this for babka. And also, let me rattle around for a minute. All different colours. This is properly old school. These used to be my mum's that I borrowed about 15 years ago. Next up, still rocking that enamel theme. Milk tins. Look at these little enamel milk tins with a black rim. These are really wonderful. I used to do brioche in these, or one great big, one giant swirl bun in this with like cinnamon and raisins inside. Really, really delicious. And don't they look nice and like vintage? They're well cheap as well. If you can find some of these milk pans, are really lovely. And if you chip them up a little bit by accidentally on purpose, they'll be properly vintage. Next up, number 3, these little pans. I used to use these pans for tart-tartans. They're little miniature pans. Look at these, aren't they lovely? For tart-tartans, you could even make a little bit of caramel inside the pan, let it cool like you would do for a tart-tartan, put some fruit in it, and cover the whole thing in brioche. Or cheese, just crossed my mind. A little tiny cheese inside of there, like that, wrapped around with a little bit of brioche, painted with egg wash and scored on the top. Wouldn't that look like a masterpiece? Let's take a side step for number 4, down a rustic route. Hello, that's a bean tin. Yeah, a bean tin, washed out, make sure there's no sharpy edges on the outside, and you can line that with paper or probably just grease it up and put some, imagine something puffing up over the top of there, something stuffed with like feta cheese and sun-dried tomatoes or something properly rustic. Cheesy would look great with that dripping down the side, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Bean tin, don't underestimate the bean tin. Continuing on with that rustic theme, this is something I used to use a lot in my classes in the olden days of Bake with Jack. We used to make garlic and lemon thyme rolls in these little flower pots lined with a bit of parchment paper. They look really lovely. You've got to season these first. Have a little Google on seasoning stuff. Basically, you mean you've got to paint it with oil and bake it a couple of times. But these are really lovely, and they're ridiculous cheap. Like, come on, flower pot, terracotta flower pot, cheap. Coming up at number 6, people, rings. Have a think about a ring. Here's what I'm thinking about a ring, right? Rings are the same size. If you've got all the rings are the same size, all the same size, and then they're going to restrict dough to a certain point and keep it in the right shape that you want it. So have a think about it. Imagine something just spilling over the top of that bowl. We all use rings for stuff like muffins or crumpets or whatnot, but rings, break open the box. Have a little think about what you could get in there, and that would look nice, all the same round size. Number 7 holds a bit of sentimental value for me. It's a ceramic dish. It's meant to be for pastry, I believe, because it says La Pâtisserie inside. But for bread, this would be really lovely. You obviously won't be able to see the inside, but you'll be able to see the flowers on the outside and the colour. This was bought for me for my 21st birthday a long time ago. I've used it for very few things, just on special occasions. It's a real nice piece for the centre of the table. Special occasion, you can make like a pull apart tear and share bread in that thing. Or nice sourdough focaccia would look lovely with little burnt bubbles on top. This is quite a classic one. Oh, it's a cast iron pan. I love these. Stuff like cornbread goes really, really nicely in a cast iron pan. If you preheat it first, you get a nice big oven spring, whatever you're putting inside, because it's hitting that hot base, not unlike being stone baked. Have a think next time you're digging around inside of a charity shop. Sometimes I can't help but look at things and think bread will look nice in that. Like this paella pan. Yeah, it's a little bit beaten up, it's a little bit dodgy, but clean it up nice and you could bake something nice in there. I haven't thought about what it is yet, but I'm sure it will be nice. Colander. Don't bake stuff in a colander, probably not. The final two in the list are excellent examples of finding stuff in charity shops. I'm just picking them up. I found this. I always consider this to be a brioche pan, whether it is or not, I don't know. But that's what I consider it to be. But look at the colour of that. Not only that, but I got this one too. This one had a label on it. It's from France, it had Franks on it, and it had a French label. It's a Tefal Charlotte pan. I haven't thought about what you could make in that. It's probably something like a panettone or something would look really lovely in there. I don't know, but it's got straight edges. I really like it. I really like the colour. Properly vintage. So as a final note, next time you go out, approach the situation with fresh eyes. Have a look around a charity shop, have a look around a car boot sale and see what you find. You can find things for literally pennies that would look wicked in the centre of your table at your family meal, or when you're posting stuff out on Instagram. And when you do post it out on Instagram, use the hashtag #BakeWithJack. Loads of you using the hashtag #BakeWithJack, which is wicked because I can click on it and see exactly what you're baking and how you're doing. You can put questions there too and I will see them. And that's it for this week. I hope this video has provided you with a little bit of inspiration of something different you can do next time. Quite often I find the thing that I'm baking the bread in often dictates what bread I'm going to make in the first place, and that's the magic of it, bringing everything together and seeing how it looks on your table and of course on Instagram. Thanks so much for watching every single Thursday. If you've not clicked subscribe yet, have a think about it before you go, and I look forward to seeing you here next week for another bread making tip. Bye bye. Thanks so much for stopping by for this week's bread tip video. I hope it's helped you to feel inspired about what you're going to bake next. I must admit, watching it back and editing it, even I feel inspired to try out some new ideas. Don't forget you can find me on Instagram at BakeWithJack if you want to see what I'm up to. And if you want me to see what you're up to, use the hashtag BakeWithJack and I'll see exactly what you're baking. See you next week.